What's up, everybody? I'm RL Pika, the Eat Coach, natural health and diet specialist. And today I'm going to talk about macronutrients and how to balance them on a raw fruit-based diet. And it's actually pretty simple when I break it down because, look, I mean, just kind of the way that health has been looked at and health has been kind of pushed out from a propaganda standpoint, like macronutrients and these micronutrients are like such a big part of it. And I've talked about this before. That is mainly because the standard diet that's going on right now is lacking so much in nutrition that, the idea of making sure you get this amount of macronutrients and this amount of micronutrients has been pushed a lot because of, so you can get isolated supplements and vitamins and things of that nature, right? But when we're looking at, transitioning to a raw diet, a fruit-based diet, a frugivore-based diet, when it comes to macronutrients, the beauty of it is that it's already built in. There's really not much you have to do. If you look at the fruit and plant kingdom, it's basically already set up for you to get enough of your macronutrients. You hear me talk about the 80-10-10 diet, a great book that was written by Dr. Douglas Graham, where he talks about how, to thrive and for your body to work at its optimal level, you need to limit your protein and fats to at the most 10% of your diet, where carbs are going to be 80 plus. And if you look at the fruit kingdom, and you could do this with an app like Chronometer, you start to put the foods into place and you'll see how they break down within those ratios. There's not look, there's some isolated items out there, isolated fruits and veggies out there that don't fall into that. Like for instance, like avocado is going to be a high fat fruit. And that's why I talk about when you're eating avocado, don't eat them all the time because that's just too much fat. Um, there's a couple others, but if you break it down, I mean, fruits and veggie fruits are gonna fall on the fat and protein, mostly, let's just say fat, roughly anywhere in between 3 to 10%. That's kind of where most years are gonna fall into. And honestly, most of them are gonna be on the lower end of that. And on protein, it's going to be roughly about 5%. Now, protein's a big one because that seems to be the macronutrient that is pushed out there more than any. You got to get your protein, got to get your protein. And I think the average American, or I shouldn't even say American, probably person in the world is probably eating somewhere around 16 to 17% protein, some even higher than that. And that is just way too much protein for the body to handle because of the process that has to go into breaking that protein down. Uh, so when it comes to macronutrients, what I would say is when you're transitioning over or you're looking to get healthy and you're looking to implement more raw foods into your diet, don't worry about what you're consuming in the fruit kingdom because they fall right in the correct ratios from a macronutrient perspective. All right. So don't worry about how much protein you're getting. Don't worry about how much fat you're getting, because you're going to get the optimal amount by eating those foods. Now, if you're transitioning from a standard diet to, let's say, just vegetarian or vegan, it's really going to come down to the foods that you're eating because you can be a very unhealthy vegetarian or very unhealthy vegan if all you're eating is processed foods and all you're eating are high fat foods, right? So understand that making a transition from, let's say, your standard diet or even a heavy meat eating diet to vegan or vegetarian does not necessarily mean that you're going to be eating healthy, right? But if you're going you're trying to implement more raw foods, is what I push. That's what I talk about. Um, then you're gonna it's a beautiful transition. You don't really have to actually do too much because the foods that nature has provided us provide us the correct amount of macronutrients that we need to thrive and strive. Another misconception out there is that you only need to eat food. Now, I think leafy greens are important. You need those minerals. Those minerals are important. Uh, So, you look at the frugivore diet of fruits and leafy greens, some nuts and seeds. That's where you get some of your fats from. The macronutrients are going to be laid out for you. You don't really have to worry about that. We've been conditioned to think that, oh man, I got to make sure I'm getting my macros. How am I going to get my protein? I got to get my fats, my healthy fats, my omega 3s, my omega 6s. Now, just eat the foods that nature has provided that are meant for your physiology, and the rest will take care of itself. So I hope that helped answer some questions. If you have any specific questions, always reach out to me. Either through the comment section, or you can email me, or whatever the case may be. Get me on social. If this video helped or resonate with you, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribing to the channel so you get new videos of when I do drop more content on natural health, diet, my journey as well. So be good, everybody. Peace, love, and light.